Hello there, everyone. Welcome back. As you can see, we are about 3 days out from our burn to enter orbit around Eve. Encounter is in 2 days and 17 hours, and I've already set the burn, which will occur about half a day after that, about a day after that. But I thought I'd bring you back in for our last solar panel adjustment. I've had to do 5 of these. Slightly easier than the trip. It's just watching basically about every 5 days, just popping in and tilting this thing slightly back towards the sun so that its shadow is continuing to proceed around it. Here we are, and then you begin your... and then we begin time accelerating again. And watch us come on in around into orbit here at a prodigious rate of speed. Just quick saving with the orbital burn plan intact because it went pretty well. All right, here we come. Eve, here we come. Only a day left till our burn. Slow down a little. 23 hours remaining. We're about to come into Eve, distant Eve orbit, which means we should be able to start seeing the planet soon. Of course, I have no idea where I am relative to the planet, but yeah, 1 hour to go, and then we are technically in orbit around Eve. 16 hours to go. Theoretically, we are now in Eve space. Here we go. You might hear my wife and daughter playing upstairs. This is a rare afternoon recording session. I'm so close to actually being in this orbit. Oh, the purple ball of shininess. Here it is. Hello, Eve. And I still have all the gas in these tanks. Gas in the outer tanks, let alone the last engine. I haven't even fired up this one yet. So it's actually more than necessary in a lot of ways, which is kind of cool. I don't know how long this burn is going to take, but it's in 3 hours. We'll give it about a minute. 2 hours, 1 hour. We'll slow down here in just a second. In fact, that's probably a good time to start reorienting for our actual burn. Good news is it looks like we're going to be actually doing a sunward facing... Nope, we're going to definitely lose the sun on most of our solar panels for the burn, but that's okay. That's something we can... I think the panels work slightly more efficiently. Yeah, look at the energy flow of 0.3. The panels work more efficiently closer to the sun. So that is useful information. It means I actually didn't need as many of these for the job, but... it also means that recharging these batteries after a science session is going to be so much easier than it would have been otherwise. Okay. Quick save. Overshooting is just not fun. 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. What a cool looking planet that is, eh? We'll do it in another 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we'll do it at T minus 1 minute. We'll start this burn. I don't think it's going to take that long, but we are burning out an orbit that extends all the way to... Oh yeah, okay, I didn't give myself enough time here. Let's see, I should have given it a longer... We could bypass and activate the central engine. In fact, there we go. There we go. Because if we're going to use that engine any time, now's the time. When one has miscalculated one's... Ooh, SAS. Come on, SAS. There we go. Much better. Let's hold it tight there. We're bringing this apoapsis way down. We're actually going to bring it down into science range here, with any luck. Because this burn, yeah, we'll take the apoapsis all the way down to... it'll become our periapsis. We'll bring the periapsis down to under 400,000 for the high orbit. Oops. That scared me for a second. We can get rid of those now. There'll just be some junk sitting in orbit around Eve. I guess I didn't really need to get rid of them. It just feels like the right thing to do. Because now I have a lot less mass to manipulate for this burn. On the other hand, they're a hazard to navigation and will probably cause me a great deal of grief in the future. But we'll deal with that. We will deal with that little issue. Okay, coming down, coming down. Oh, what a pretty planet. Look at the color of that thing. Okay, periapsis is dropping nicely. We will, of course, do another burn to bring our apoapsis down to a more reasonable level. Let's see, so we need between 100 and 400,000 meters for our low orbit science. And we can pick up our high orbit science on the way in. So we'll bring it down to about 200,000. And yeah, as I say, we'll catch up with some of the other science we need on the way. We'll grab some of the outer science. 500,000. We're going to come under that low orbit threshold in just a minute. Okay, almost there. Almost to where I want to be. There we go. All right, clear that burn. It's good enough for now. Perfection is not on my list. And then we'll bring that down. Ooh, that's actually a pretty expensive. That's pretty expensive. A full minute of burn to bring it down that much closer. Interesting. Okay. Well, in the meantime, let's see. What did I set? Time warp off. 2. High over Eve. Well, we might as well get this show on the road. Let's transmit that science. Oh, okay, that's a little bit beefier than I had anticipated. Wow, okay. Can't do atmospheric pressure, can't do gravity, can't do surface imaging. So that's everything I've got on this thing. So that's the only high orbit scan I need to do. So let's bring her in closer to Eve. In 25 minutes, we will burn ourselves into an orbit. A nice tight orbit. Starting at T-minus 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. So we should be able to do a scan now. Let's see what we got here. Temperature scan in space near Eve. We'll send that off on its way and we'll be done with thermometers for the most part. And a barometer. Yes, it's still space. Did I transmit that or did I keep that? Let's transmit it. And then, with only 3 minutes left, we really do need to get ourselves oriented for this burn. Let's see, gravity scan. Send that home as well. Oh, did that not go? Now's probably not the time to try and do any science. Here we go. 2 minutes to go until burn time. Yeah, what's going to be eventually a retrograde burn. We're actually burning battery power now, which is interesting. So the plan is, what I'm going to try and do as this thing is I'm going to burn it down. If things go according to plan, I'm going to burn this thing down into the atmosphere. and use sort of a skim. We'll try and skim through the atmosphere and get an upper atmosphere, some upper atmosphere scans on the way down before 1 minute to go. We'll burn at T-minus 30. Come on, here we go. Full throttle to the engine. Hold it steady. Looking good. Yeah. Weird. I wonder how these solar panels were working. They're not facing the sun right now. Oh! I have an engine that has... Oh, that's useful. That's an engine with a... what do you call it? Alternator. So I recharge the batteries by burning the burning into orbit here. That's kind of a convenient thing about having that Poodle engine on this ship. Here we are. 600,000. 500. It's a big planet. Look at the size of that. It's very pretty. Under 400, under 300. We're going to bring it down a little further because we might as well. Kill it. All right, SAS off. Let's RCS ourselves around. That's going to do the job because that will allow us to do a surface imaging and other such tasks. So did I send that gravity scan home? I did not. Send that home. Come on, Communicatron. Send that data home. And let's rotate her around so we are recharging as fast as, if not faster than, we can consume the data. Ooh. Okay, and we are almost around to a full sun angle here. So let's stop her right there. Time accelerate a little to get some juice back in the tanks. Because that's what we're going to be doing a lot of, is we're going to be recharging the batteries to prepare for an upcoming... First of all, we're going around the dark side now. And secondly, we need to spend 1 hour scanning the planet, which I should be able to do. All right. With relatively low quantities of power. So let me see. So this is... Let's see. What was it? It was... I can just time... I think I can just time accelerate this like normal. Yes. So hopefully we will come out before all heck breaks loose here. Keep that battery charged. Yeah, we're keeping her charged. No problem. Not even at an optimal angle, and we're still keeping the battery charged here. It's the transmission home that's going to be the scary part. Good stuff. Okay. Now my instinct is we want to do this at sunrise. Okay. So we'll bring her around. And the instant that the sun is back on this ship, we'll reorient it to face the sun perfectly. 3, 2, 1. Here comes sunrise. And then we will start this transmission. All right, here we go. Let's see, these panels are not optimally oriented. So we need to do a little tweak to our angle here. I don't know why the graphics are glitching out that way. Too much crap on the... Come on, just a little further. So I should be getting 0.3 or 0.4 from each of these, if I orient it right. Here we go. There we are. All right. Here we go. We're sending this mess home. Here we go. Transmission has begun. And let's just hope we don't manage to kill the batteries in the process. Okay, so it was Alt accelerate. Yeah, we can do it 4 times faster than normal this way. Oh, it's going to be close. It is going to be close. Come on, battery charging. Why wouldn't it be a killer to have a derelict ship sitting around Eve? Because I did only put on 2 batteries instead of 3. I think it's going to be all right. I think it's going to be all right. We still have half our battery left, and we're 75. Yes, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. We've got a nice big mass of really nice data here. Now, I don't have the juice to get us to the moon. Okay. So I'm going to spend a couple of orbits getting this battery charged, and then we are going to dive into the atmosphere and see if we can get any other... Yeah, not a lot of data to get from Eve in the way of gravity scans. We've got all of the basic stuff. Okay, so give me a minute to recharge the batteries on a few orbits here, and when I come back, we're going to try and skim through the atmosphere to pick up some valuable atmosphere science. Be right back. Welcome back. I'm bringing you in for the last couple orbits here just to show you how quickly this thing's batteries charge. So it's been about, this is about the 7th orbit, and it's going to take 1 more to get the batteries completely full, because we just about made it. But all things considered, it's a pretty good design. And there it is. We are ready to dive into the atmosphere of Eve. It's a shame there's not multiple places to... Alright, so we burn at the periapsis to bring our epoapsis down, or we burn at the apoapsis to drop our periapsis, which is what we really want to do. We want to bring that down into below 100,000. Yeah, it's 100,000 for the upper atmosphere, so we want to come in as shallow as is possible and still getting science, so we'll go for about 90. A little lower. That should do it. SAS off, RCS, let's swing her around for this burn. So this is going to be a very precision maneuver, because what I'm going to have to do is get this science and transmit it faster than I lose my orbit, and thus, you know, start getting G-forces and atmospheric drag and all that jazz, because this thing this is going to effectively deorbit this mission, is part of what's happening here. This is going to send this thing the rest of the way out of orbit, and thus on its way to a unfortunate end. I don't think this one's even going to see the ground, to be honest. Nope, 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 nope. A little further. 12-second burn. Close enough. Because all we're doing is dropping that periapsis down below 100,000. 20, 19. Just low enough to get that atmospheric science, potentially. Okay. It says that's not in the atmosphere, but maybe that's low enough to still get an atmospheric reading here. Well, we'll find out soon enough. So we're going to reorient back to the sun. Get some sun on those panels. All right. Probably good enough. Let's take her down. 300, 200. Of course, it's going to happen behind the sun, behind the planet, isn't it? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. And we are now theoretically in the upper atmosphere. No, we're still in space near Eve. Let's see if we go all the way down. I may have recorded the wrong numbers. I have a little cheat sheet here that's supposed to tell me what elevation for each set of science. Maybe I misrecorded the... Yeah, we're considered still in space, which means what we can do, burn at the periapsis to bring the apoapsis. No, we don't need to do that. What we'll do is we'll burn at our apoapsis and bring it down a little further. Maybe to... Let's see. Oh, we're close. We're really close to being what would be considered an atmosphere. We must just be within a whisker of it, to be honest. Yeah, within a whisker. So it's going to be a real little burn to bring that down a little further. Let's not even do that. We will bring it around. Right, it's not going to let us go any faster, is it, until we get above a certain level. Come on, ship. Go faster. Burn up faster. 899. It's probably... No, it's higher than 100,000. There we are. Around that apoapsis. RCS us around to a retrograde burn. And take it down a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit at a time. Lock it on. There we are. That's it right there. So we'll take it to 85. Good. Okay. That's as low as we need to go. SAS off. Let's RCS our way back to a... Now what will happen is, if my calculations are correct, we should just skim through and come back out into one last orbit. And hopefully that will give us a chance to get enough, get some atmospheric science out of this planet before we have a terrible, terrible conclusion to everything. So let's bring her around. Here we go. We're coming in 90, 4, 93, 92, 91. All right, here we go. Upper atmosphere. Sending home some information on the upper atmosphere of Eve. Send it away. Barometer scan. Transmit that data. I told you, transmit that data. And let's see if there's anything I can do with a gravity scan. Nope. Imaging. Nope. If I had an atmospheric sampler, that would be great. So really, that is more or less the end of the mission. Because I highly doubt I'll be able to get the lower atmosphere scan in this process. So let's set a retrograde burn, and let's just burn ourselves out of orbit. We'll use up all our fuel while we are in the atmosphere, and take it home. Send her on home to its new home, the first piece of trash to be dumped on Eve. Lock it on. Here we go. Caps lock off. We'll do a full burn here. We're bringing her all the way down into the atmosphere. The most efficient time to bring the apoapsis down. And we have landing time. We are as high as we are ever going to go again. Let's just burn off the fuel so we don't pollute the atmosphere too much. There we go. All done. And we'll watch what happens as we come down into the atmosphere, and we'll continue trying to collect that temperature data on our way down. But I expect what's going to happen is we're going to hit the atmosphere like a ton of bricks, and this thing is going to ignite and burn up. But I've been wrong before, and it'd be nice to be wrong again on this one. 80... Let's see. Still in the upper atmosphere. I think it's quite low we have to go before we're considered in the lower atmosphere. So we'll see what happens. We'll actually RCS ourselves around to somehow make this something of a retrograde re-entry. Because why not? Why not? Oh, here comes, it's the beginning of the end. Beginning of the end. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was pretty optimistic to think we were going to make it any lower than that. So Eve will definitely need blast shields. Log temperature. I'm actually impressed that some of this stuff is still pretty intact, but we're about to start losing. We're about to start losing the big pieces now. I wonder, could we reduce the impact by slowing ourselves down? We're aerobraking with our RCS fuel. How low can we get this thing? Things have stopped exploding. It's a start. I could probably use a parachute this high in the atmosphere. Temperature is raised. Oh god, this thing's gonna explode. Yep. We're trying. We're failing, but we're trying. Oh. Oh. Nope, there go the batteries. There goes... Oh, one piece at a time. Boom. Poof. In a puff of smoke. We only made it to 43 kilometers, so... That was awesome. That was so cool to watch the thing break up piece by piece by piece. I don't even know if a re-entry shield would have done the job against that. So we got science. We got a lot of science. 751, not as much as I would have thought, but that's enough for 2 more nodes at this tier. Still not enough for 1 node up here yet. But what do I need? If I had to pick, if I'm only going to pick 1 node right now, it's going to be the bloody mainsail engine. We'll get the next tier engine, because this thing max thrust 1500 and its predecessor. Oh, I wonder. Oh, it must be. The difference must be possibly an efficiency difference. Propellants 49. Is it more efficient? Yeah, it's a little more efficient on fuel. Oxidizer, not a huge amount, but just a tiny bit more efficient on fuel, which could make a big difference. 62 versus 60, so that's a big difference. It probably is not overheat as easily. Yeah. So it's not enough to get these, but I mean, the next one, I think we're going to send a ship with that we might actually be able to land to Duna next. Not land, but maybe do the same thing. We'll do an atmosphere, at least an upper atmosphere scan on Duna. And then maybe we'll examine the possibility of getting this recycling unit and sending some a Kerbal out around Minmus and getting some crew observations of Minmus. So I'll grab the mainsails now, because really I want them. And I think our next mission will be the Duna mission. I'll fast forward time and make sure we're at least a little closer to a optimal orbit. So thank you all very much for watching. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.